All right, guys, we'll be starting the webinar now. All right, so I'm Patricia. I go to San Joaquin Delta College, and I am also a third year. I am a sociology major, and I am also their spirit and social chair for the 2018-2019 term. Fun fact: I have 5 dogs. So there's the picture there, and then there's a picture with me and a couple of the e-board members.
Hello, guys. My name is David Nguyen, and I'm from Sacramento City College. I'm a second year student. My major is mechanical engineering. I am the club secretary for a 2018-2019 term. And a fun fact about me is that I like to eat pizza with knife and fork. You know, I don't like to get my hands messy. Yeah. Anyways, so that's a picture of me, and the second picture is my club. Shout out to Sac City. And yeah. So, what is social anxiety? So, social anxiety is a fear that some people have inside of them. Sometimes some people feel like that they can feel judged or criticized just being for who they are. Sometimes you can tell by other people in public just through their facial expressions. And mainly, social anxiety is it's like a suffering feeling to have where you do feel pressured. And but let me tell you something, that's honestly okay to feel, since um it's a natural state of being to have this anxiety. But what does anxiety have that it can also lead to just being embarrassed or depressed most of the time. But that's what it usually is. And I want to let you know right now, but having social anxiety is honestly a normal thing to have. Like, to be real honest, I have it. I have social anxieties myself. Sometimes I do have a hard time um, being myself around uh, other social groups, but I know that it's okay to have this kind of feeling. And I know some other people who have this social anxiety, since it is a common factor to have. So there shouldn't be a shame about it, but that's what it really is. Next slide.
Ways to feel comfortable. So these are a couple ways to get comfortable. So getting yourself out there, such as, you know, preparing yourself to properly handle social situations, you know, like going to the mall, that may be something easy, but for others, it's really hard to get into like, conversations, even talking to a simple cashier. It makes them feel uncomfortable and getting and like close up and they freeze and they're just like, what do I say? Getting help, you know, getting help is the most helpful way to feel comfortable because you could talk to someone or you can rely on your friends to help you get through it. Improving your health, exercising is one big thing to help you ease your anxiety, such as eating a healthy and balanced diet regularly. Exercising also increases feelings of well-being, but also reduces your anxiety. It also offers the chance to build up your social skills in a non-threatening environment. Do things you're passionate about. So if you're passionate about reading, go join a club that it's about like, reading or what else? um, if you like to go out, hang out with those friends that like to go out, go hang out, go eat, get used to hanging out with friends and going out a lot more. And then the last one is hang around with people with common interests. Hanging out with people with common interests is the most, I want to say the best because, there are also people out there who suffer or deal with the same thing you're going through. And then helping them is also going to help you. All right. Building your confidence. So, building your confidence, just practice. Practice always makes it perfect. Being yourself, just be yourself. Come on, every time we all go to DCMs or we do service events, we're all ourselves. Meditation, meditating, I want to say that's the best thing for yourself because you put your mind at ease and you're just, in your zone. And then looking at yourself in the mirror, just talk to yourself and, tell yourself every day like something positive about yourself.
So I want something to add to that is that um try doing things out of your comfort zone. Like for me, joining CKI was one thing that I didn't was having a hard time getting comfortable around because for me, since I mentioned before that I have social anxieties, but that's like one of the better ways for me to improve myself is just being in a social setting with the CKI or do things that isn't really what you usually do on a daily basis, like go out on a jog or go out to a coffee shop and talk to someone next to you because or even like have small talks with strangers like that could share at the grocery stores because the more you talk to people, the more you start to develop I would say a sense of humor for yourself and you'll just start building your own confidence. So that's my advice is that like just keep talking to people and do things more out of your comfort zone because you like I promise you this that you will become a more confident and self-conscious person in the future. So you aren't alone. Um, Start basics like set up a healthy routine. So start practicing how to wake up early in the morning, like around 7 a.m. because if you oversleep, like which I did today, you will miss out a lot on the whole day. Like one day in just 24 hours, you could do something. So practicing your sleep schedule will make you become a healthy and have a good psychological healthy mind, I could say, because you get to be very active in the morning, and once the afternoon comes, you're already active. So that's one set, and also have a set up plan of what you want to do because it's and try to include that with anything social involved because to practice more of your social anxiety, you have to be out there. Like you don't want to be staying home all day, playing video games or watching YouTube because it will lessen the chance. It defeats the purpose of trying to improve your social anxiety. So go out there and meet new people or hang out with your friends more often because that's more that's what's life living about. It's just meeting new people and interacting with them. And it gives you a very good I would say a good feeling for yourself.
The second one is take baby steps. So, taking baby steps starts off with setting up daily or weekly goals for yourself to achieve. So, a daily goal could be like wake up in the morning and go take your dog for a walk or hang out with like a friend, go grab some coffee. However, don't take too much of a caffeine intake because that also can like throw off your anxiety. But setting up daily and weekly goals could be can mean a lot to yourself with if you struggle with social anxiety because it's it takes a lot for one to go out there and talk to people. The third one is go in with the strategy. Plan to prepare yourself for social engagement. So, just make plans, make that daily goal to like, I'm going to go out and go to like Target or Walmart. And I'm going to try to talk to this person to help me find this certain item. Sorry. And, sometimes talking to people in a grocery store or like a retail store, things like that could be, very, very scary and nervous.
So the next point is identify and use a mantra to refocus your thoughts. So finding a simple work that you can recite and giving you a sense of control in a stressful social situation. So whenever you're talking to people, make sure you're focused on the topic, or because if you have some opinions that you want to speak out, then that's a good thing because you have something to talk about. Make sure you stay on that topic and try to build on it. And you can add a little humor or a little funny joke out of it, which enlightens the conversation. So the more you keep talking to people, and practicing the way, just basically talking to people in general and having a sense of mind of what you're talking about can can help you focus to talk to more people later on, and eventually, especially when you have close friends, and when you have close friends, you have something to talk about, have some inside jokes, or get each other's sense of humor. That's also a very good positive thing because the more you talk to people um, outside of social circle, that when you meet with your close friends, you'll feel more confident and more at ease with yourself. So make sure to have a good focus of what you're talking about and just build up from there.
Get the support you need. Feeling supported and practicing coping methods may help ease the anxiety. Speaking to friends and family, participating in hobbies, or joining support groups can help put your anxiety at ease. So, getting the support you need, it's just having your daily support system, or that support system you have from family, friends, or even joining a group of strangers and talking about what you deal with. And it can help all of you guys together and build up your not only your confidence, but but also get rid of that fear of speaking in public or speaking to a stranger. All right, so it's questionnaire or question time. Feel free to ask anything. Do you guys have like any questions, comments, or any discussions you guys would like to talk about?
So, do you guys want some personal advice that you want us to give you that you guys having with your own social anxiety?
Is there any way to help others overcome some social anxieties to help them feel more included? Um, I feel like helping others is help them, if they're hanging out with you and they don't know the other person, such as like you guys are hanging out at the mall and they're meeting other new people and they get very nervous and shy, introduce them to those people and make them feel like they're part of the conversation, which is the biggest, and make sure they don't, and make sure to make them feel comfortable. If you guys are talking about like a topic and that person also likes that topic, encourage them to talk, to join the chat because that also will help them overcome their anxiety.
Another thing too is that if you see a shy person, um, like say anywhere in a social group and you're just not talking or just pretty shy, trying to get comfortable, Try to have them included. Like ask them questions. If they feel like they feel too pressured in a way, um, try to be on the same page with them. Try to understand them and try to slowly get to know them too, because it's a slow process for that person if you want to have that person included. Because um, the more you start to understand and the more you start to know where they're coming from, the more you have a grasp of the next time you talk to that person, you can handle the conversation easily. So that's what I got. Um,
David, I think Jada asked you a question. How do you personally deal with social anxiety?
how do I feel personal social anxieties? Um, I sometimes take it seriously, but as time went by, I just start to. Well, that was before. Like as time went by, I started to like be calm, like don't worry about it. Because back then I used to freak out a lot. Like my eyes to be like really bloodshot red back then. But now, like I started to become more confident and just stay more calm and just honestly just be who I am. So yeah.
Any more questions, comments? So what we got asked was, how does this topic relate to Circle K International, like in socials, including everyone? So the social anxiety relates to CKI as well because um, we always have new members come in out of the blue. So, one way to get them comfortable is plan a social, but don't overwhelm them because meeting everyone at once is overwhelming, such as coming from someone from my experience when I joined CKI back in June, meeting all of you guys was pretty overwhelming, but eventually I got over it. And now I talk to you guys like you guys are my own friends from school.
So another question that we're asked is, how do I get over worrying about what people think of me? Um, so honestly, don't worry about those people because you as a person and what you believe in and what you think and how you feel matters more than what other people feel about you. Because that's something that's out of your control. And you shouldn't let that control you in a way because that honestly um defeats you as a person. So like I actually used to go through that a lot back in high school. Like I used to worry what other people thought about me, but I just knew that it was pretty normal and that it was okay what other people think of me because like I knew who I was and which matters more. So as long as you stay true to yourself, that's all that matters.
Someone asked, so my anxiety comes in a different way and I low key don't understand. Like I can't talk to people, so I shut off my mind and let myself go on autopilot. So is that dealing with social anxiety?
Wait, wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat
I
the question?
guess that relates. I'm not really too sure, but I think that relates to social anxiety because you 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 have trouble talking to other members, and so you just hang around with your own club members or the people you know through the club or made friends in the past, and you just hang around them. I say you should you should just have one of your friends introduce you to another fellow CKI member and just start talking to them and just start opening up. Not right away, but start like talking about, oh, what are you in CKI for? Or, talk like CKI non-related things and all that, such as what I did back in an August quad, which was taking in place in Oakland. That's where I met more new, not new, but more CKI members. And at that time, there were so many people. I was very overwhelmed, and I started kind of going off on my own. And Tan, if you guys know Tan kept pushing me, don't meet new people. So I don't remember who specifically helped me, but that's where I ended up meeting Randall, if you guys know Randall from UNR. And then Randall started introducing me to more people, and then throughout the whole DCM, I started just talking to everyone.
Um, so I did want to share a person who I met back in middle school, and I've known him all the way till now, so high school as well. But when I met this person, he was um he was special needs, and he had a lot of social problems, like not like okay, there were some problems, but like social anxiety problems. But I remember he would always talk to people, and he was always hesitant. Like you literally can hear him um breathing a lot, and he was always nervous. So he was always worried a lot about how people feel about him, and um and he also worried about what other people think about him too. So he was very um closed out on himself when I met him in middle school. But when high school came, he started to become a very different person. Like he started to be more confident. Like he started to say hi to people like down the hallways. Like I would say hi to him too. Um, but he eventually started to be more joyful, or he was more positive. Like I honestly felt like he left a big impact on me because like when I met in middle school, like how nervous and how shy and like closed out he used to be, but when high school came, everything started changing where he would walk up to people and say hi, how's your day? But honestly, that to me was like the biggest change I seen out of him. And and yeah, and I hope that like that gave you something to you guys as well, because like seeing this person like change from in a span of like over the summer actually, like when we switched from middle school to high school, that's like a big change right there. And I was amazed.
So another one we got is, what if your interests really don't match those of other CKI members? You've tried several times and it hasn't worked. Um, then
Um,
you might have to just probably branch out to others, or maybe different people.
I mean it's okay. Like not everyone's going to be different in any ways possible. But I mean, if you're a friendly type of person, maybe you can try to get to know their hobbies and try to try it out with them. Um, but but like what Patricia said, like branch out to other people who you find have common interests, because you'll feel more like included and feel more like you belong to somewhere, to someplace, and that's where you want to be. But if you're very open, then you should talk to various people, like very like that doesn't have the same common interest as you. Like I used to do that a lot, like in high school. Yep, I'm talking a lot about high school, guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, I used to be a weeb. Yes, I was one of those people who play Yu-Gi-Oh and watch anime every single day, and I used to be found it weird, but I didn't mind that at all. But eventually, I was more open to people. Like I would literally hang out outside of my weeaboo group and go hang out with the popular kids, which is kind of very interesting because like I was like in very different various social groups at the time because even though I knew I knew I belonged more with my anime people, but I always hanged out with um other people like the cross country team. I actually like hanged out with the football team one time, and they're actually pretty cool. And sometimes I will hang out with the people who I would see um sitting in the hallway by themselves, like not talking to anyone. Like I would literally just walk up to them, just like, "Hey, what's up?" So yeah, that's to answer your question. I would say find the people who you feel like feel more belong to, but at the same time, try to be more open to everybody else because everyone deserves to learn about other people. So, so yeah.
What's the best way to approach someone who has social anxiety?
Um, I would say honestly, just like I said before, be on the same page as them. Like, just ask them how they're doing, or how's their day? Like, ask them various questions. However, like if that person is like very, very um nervous, then I would honestly say like you should consider backing out because you don't want to like make that person feel uncomfortable, you know? But um but most importantly, you should be yourself around them so that they can feel like they're feeling like they're included and they have someone to talk to later on in the future. I knew someone back then. She was really shy. I mean, I would talk to her and say hi to her, and I was the more hyper and random person to her at the time. And there were days like she was super quiet, like really quiet. She was a straight A student, and um she was just very talented, but she was just super shy. And I mean, I used to be really random with her a lot, and she would always, pretty much laugh. But then, like when I was doing my own thing, I noticed that she wanted to come talk to me more because I know she has social anxiety. So, um, so yeah, just honestly, just be yourself around them. But if they're feeling that like they're really nervous, then yeah, just back away. But other than that, just be open to them. So that's all I gotta say.
Any last questions? What happens when you befriend someone with social anxiety and you want to help them branch out, but not make them feel like you're pushing them away? um, you just part of it is you have to have patience. Um, because patience, it helps them take time, open up, and start getting themselves slowly but surely out there. And you don't want to overwhelm them with too much, but slowly take them out and help them be like, "Oh, you want to go to the mall with me and stuff, or like you want to go eat." And always make sure it's okay for them. Make them feel comfortable. Don't make them feel too like overwhelmed.
Any more questions? So, all right.
All right, so this is the end of the webinar. Feel free to contact us. You can pretty much find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or my email. My social media is pretty much the same thing. My email, esparza.cki@gmail.com.
Same for me. I got Facebook, Instagram, email. Um, so yeah, just contact me if you ever need any advice how to conquer social anxiety, or if you meet someone and you want to talk to someone who has social anxiety. Um, yeah, just email me or Facebook Facebook me or whatever. But yeah,
Thank you guys for all attending our webinar.
and also don't forget to sign the Google Sheets on the event page, which we will post after. But thanks for guys for coming and listening.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you guys feast.
Yeah, man, cook up the turkey good.